Hi, everybody. Good morning to you all, and welcome to the show. I'm happy to be here with you today, and I am going to be joined, hopefully very soon, by Linda G. and also Andre Kaur, the astrologer. And both of them live here on the West Coast, and so I thought it would be wonderful to have a little bit of information from the both of them to be able to talk about the 1111 portal. And I want to welcome all of you. Thanks all for being here. We appreciate you, of course. Thank you so much. And at the very beginning of the chat, I have posted Juno from the Junosphere's take on the 1111 energies. If you get a chance to go over, the link is there and see what she's done. It's a beautiful presentation with pictures and all kinds of cool information. So get a chance, go over to Juno's channel and check it out. That would be great. I would be remiss if I did not say to our veterans today, Happy Veterans Day. Veterans Day, remember when we were kids, used to be Armistice Day because it was the day that they signed the armistice during World War I, which was 1918. And so, that's just it was a great day to do it. So I'm glad that they did it. I think that what we're doing is we're also dealing with the wonderful energies of things that can change from those times. And here comes Andre. Hello. Hi. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Welcome, welcome. I'm just talking a little bit about the Armistice Day of 11/11, 1918. And and how powerful the 11/11, actually 11/11/22 is three master numbers really that all come to a one, which is new beginnings. So it's so good to see you, Andre. Yeah,
good to see you.
You have a beautiful backdrop. That's gorgeous.
Thank you. I was trying to change it, but it's a little complicated with StreamYard because you can change it for a different type. Anyway, whatever. It's good. Yeah, I like it.
I like it because it's autumn, and I love autumn. So
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. I know Linda's coming. She may be just coming in a few minutes, but I first want to thank you for allowing me to have you on here today. It's one of those days that is very fortuitous for me. Last year on this day, my husband opened up his office, so it's our 1-year anniversary of his office, which is congratulations to my husband. I'm so glad that he's still in business. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about how we can do manifesting today. This is the very best day to manifest for all of us. I did a show on election day, trying to keep the vibe up, trying to keep everybody sort of not freaking out. That was a day we all needed to be positive. But once again, today is another day that we need to stay positive and keep that vibe going. Hello, Linda.
Hi, how are you? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Live right now?
What's that? Yeah, we're on. Yeah, we're live. Yeah.
I was going to put my makeup on as I was.
That's okay. You still can. Everybody is okay with that. Andre just put his on, so.
Okay. Mr. Majestic and those beautiful vistas there.
I know. Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Surrounds himself with sunlight and beautiful leaves.
Yeah, it's just getting in there in the background. I know. It's cool.
Happy Veterans Day.
Yes. Happy Veterans Day. I was just saying that. We were talking about the armistice, which was 11/11/1918, was signed on this day and then changed to Veterans Day. And so for all veterans out there, we can't thank you enough, honestly. Yes. Yeah.
I lost a cousin.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe once removed in World War II. And battle, when we went to France, we were able to see his gravesite.
Oh, they buried him in France.
Yeah,
really?
With all the
others.
Where they came off. What was that battle?
The Sorbonne. Was that it, or no? Or maybe that's World War One. You're talking about on the water, on the water. Yeah. Normandy.
Normandy, that's it.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So I have, my father was in World War II. My brother was in Vietnam 3 times. My other brother was a Marine. And I have nephews and cousins that were all in the Marine Corps. So I send them all my love. Fortunately, didn't lose them, during those times. But, oh, the Battle of the Bulge, Connie. That's what I have. I have the Battle of the Bulge. Sorry. Not trying to
I
make
have
fun
the
of it.
battle of the diarrhea.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh no! Oh no!
What are you running away from, Linda?
No, I'm just teasing. I got my double wide JC Penney's that keep me in check.
Well, that's good. That's really good. I'm glad to hear that.
Got
A
it
little
all
bit of
covered.
humor keeps those vibes right up. Thank you so much.
Oh,
So,
it could be worse. You could be one of these. You could be one of these MAGA people. They're probably experiencing a bit of that right around now.
oh, I believe they are.
I just
Yes.
absolutely love this. I know I got specifically Beto and Stacey Abrams, and now when I find out what the government was doing, the state government,
Yes.
they probably could have varied. They probably were winners, but they were taking away votes and cheating like crazy.
Yep.
But
I heard
anyway,
that too. Ron Johnson too, right? Ron Johnson and Rand Paul. Yeah.
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 And it starts with, how did Mitch McConnell win when he had a 4% approval rate? And they
No
say he
kidding.
won more people than were there.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going on. But
Yeah. But if we say anything, you know what will happen. Oh, now you're whining because it's on your shoe, on your.
It doesn't matter. Whining. They're the ones that are whining. They can't believe they didn't do a landslide.
Yeah.
It's like, why are people being Debbie Downers when really we did fantastic?
We did okay. We did. And we're still in the running right now.
We got the House. This one lady in, I can't think of her name. She's for the Senate race. And she's catching up like crazy. She's only 50,000 behind.
Masto? Cortez Masto? Okay.
No, it's less than 50. She's much closer. Unless it changed in the last hour. It's down to something like, she used to be back 50 or 60. She's down to 8 or 7. It's very close.
Yeah. And they still got votes coming in. So if she takes it, and I know Kelly's taking it.
Yep.
They don't even have to worry about the runoff, but I still know that Raphael will win.
I feel that he's just such a, I don't know, he's an icon like John Lewis, that type of guy. Yeah, definitely.
But the one thing my guys were absolutely right about, you guys, if you listen to any of my shows, was that they said when this voting is over with, the one we just went through, everybody's going to turn against Trump. Is that happening or what?
Yeah.
It seems like it is. Yeah. Yeah.
We said everybody's going to turn against Trump and he's imploding, right, Andre?
Yes.
He definitely is. Although I heard this morning, this guy who is, can't think of his name. I always remember people's faces, but names, they drop out. But he writes for The Atlantic, and he said that they're really in a jam because the MAGA people are so loyal to him, even though if they had a brain, they could see he keeps losing, and he's got to be the worst candidate. Like, honestly, if he runs for president, it's the perfect thing for
it's perfect.
How are you going to win with this loser? It's just not going to work. If you lose in the midterms, when you go into the general, it's even worse. People are panicked. Democrats hate Trump, so that's the best motivator is put in a person you're going to vote against, right? So anyway, but he's definitely hurting because Murdoch is turning against him, and a lot of questions being asked. But this guy was saying it still may not be enough because they're caught between a rock and a hard place. They can't win with him, and they can't go without him because he'll just burn down the building. He will say,
and he put himself in that. Put himself in that situation. He did. Have you got your invitation? Are you going to the wedding this weekend?
No. To me.
Okay. Probably missed it.
But honest to God, he's imploding. He's going to be.
He is.
Like McCarthy, like I've been saying till I'm blue in the face. It's going to be something where people will be putting their nose up. There's also, they did a survey that the people in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Not in New York, in other places where abortion wasn't the main focus. They
Mhm.
said even with Biden's number being so low and maybe people not necessarily liking him, but they still voted Democrat because they didn't want cray cray.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true. Well, I can't thank the young vote enough.
Oh.
63% of Gen Z went out to vote, and they voted Democrat.
Right.
That percentage did, and now people are calling for that to be raised to 21 because
It's not going to happen, but yeah, they can ask for whatever they want.
The Republican solution to everything is change the
Let's
rules
just
so they'll be
change
more
things.
favorable to us.
Oh, that's what DeSatan did. He changed the rules.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
He made it
That's a real crazy thing down there that went on. I think that disturbed me more than anything, that they called some of these races like Val Demings, and there wasn't even like 13% of the vote brought in yet. And I was going, oh my God, don't concede, wait, but yeah, they did, which really was something else.
Well, now that Trump has admitted, some people say you can't believe him, but I don't know. What do you guys think? That he said that he's the one that got DeSatan in there. He was losing, and that he sent the DOJ and the FBI.
Yeah, but I mean, this is like it's Trump talk. Any president, if you have a president, doesn't matter. I mean, it could be the Hulk. Who cares? Some person who's there, and they endorse you, that's going to be to your favor in some sense. But he keeps making it seem like, well, if I hadn't done it, no. If Joe Schmo had done that, it would have been the same thing. He makes it seem like he did something. DeSantis barely won that race back in 2018.
Yeah, by 3,000 or something.
By nothing. So, now all of a sudden he's responsible for Youngkin. First of all, in politics, people don't care about you. If they see a path to their own success, they'll throw you reward. So he's flailing around looking for things to say, but the numbers don't back it. I mean, just look at what happened.
Well, let me tell you though, he's out for blood. He wants to destroy DeSatan.
Well, he can try. I mean, but the problem with that is that the Satan won solidly, and he's got
cheatingly. You should hear the stories coming out of Florida.
Well, whichever way, whether it's cheating or not, as it stands on the board, because we could go back to 2016 and talk about Russia and manipulation. There are all sorts of problems, but as it stands, Trump is the one that caused the loss. Because look at all these people, all these guys that are saying, the election in 2020 was stolen.
And that makes Trump mad because the ones he endorsed loses and DeSatan wins.
Yeah.
Not only that, but he's blaming his wife for choosing Dr. Oz.
Yeah, I know, that's funny. That's funny.
Let's blame everybody. You could blame the dog and the cat.
Like, I'm amazed that he has so many followers when he goes on camera and he says, well, if we win, it's because of me, but if we lose, it's not my fault.
Right.
That's convenient. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, it is convenient. Yeah. Wouldn't we all love that in our job? Yeah. Do you know if Katie Hobbs? She's staying steady.
She's staying steady, and I believe she'll win.
Yeah, that one's the most dangerous, just because I don't know if you saw Kornacki. He's like a whirling dervish of numbers, and he was saying that there's this big block of votes coming in, and he always looks back at previous elections and what happened, and he said that this big block that comes in from Maricopa in 2020, Biden had a big lead on Trump, and they cut it right down to 10,000, like he made up 90,000. But in 2018, Sinema surged with that drop off
the other way.
It's all these people that dropped off day of mail ballots and stuff like that. So we don't know whether or not, like Kelly in the Kelly race, he could lose some votes, but he's got such a big lead, he's almost certain to hold on. But Hobbs has got a tiny lead, so it's scary.
Did you look at her chart at all?
At who? At Hobbs and Lake?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a video where I picked Hobbs based on what I see. But
based on your astrology.
I don't have time for either one. So this is the thing with DeSantis. Like I had said, I'll admit that I said in 2020 that I thought DeSantis would lose in 22, but I don't have his time. So I'm kind of I'm looking at a reduced chart. All you need is one nice thing there around a birth time, and you can overcome all your, deficiencies.
Right.
So, but DeSantis, the thing about DeSantis is this thing about presidency. He's a Virgo, and he's going into the presidency years, which are coming up, with Saturn opposite. And Saturn opposite is very tricky territory unless it's opposite as far away from your sun as possible. But in his case, it's right on it. And all you have to look at, two examples that I can think of is John McCain tried that and it didn't work at all. And remember that guy, Gray Davis, he was recalled on that Saturn opposite sun. So it's really unfavorable. So this idea that he's going to be the anointed, replacement.
He's only 44 years old. He's not, it's like he's got plenty of time.
Oh, I know.
But ever since I saw him with those patent leather white boots, that was it for me. He can't be a Virgo.
Yeah.
Virgos have better taste than that.
Could you imagine? I know, he looked ridiculous. You're absolutely right. Yeah. But the polls were wrong, Aspie says, and I agree with that. The polls are wrong. The media they need to change up the way they
stop listening to them, to the media.
Yeah. But it's like a disease out there that keeps people,
I love how they keep playing on the news over and over.
Yeah.
All the Republic. It's going to be a tsunami, I tell you.
I know.
That was more Fox though, because to be fair.
Yeah, it was Fox. Yeah.
I wasn't, I only check in to Fox.
But now Fox is turning up against Trump.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Murdoch, I mean,
Murdoch, for sure. Humpty Trumpty.
But I think that they're publishing in the papers too, like all his, different papers that he has, the New York Post, the Wall Street Journal. It's almost feels like the order came up from up top, okay, we got to drop this guy. And so now all the people before that were totally backing Trump are saying, well, it's not looking too good. But Trump is like a cockroach. He will, I'm telling you, this guy, he will not give in, until he's complete. There's no way.
That's right.
What's interesting is that he lost. He's lost. He won a presidency, okay? And he screwed that up. But he lost midterms. He lost.
He did. He lost 4 times.
Now he's losing again.
Yeah. Right.
Why would you stand up for him?
Does that show up in his chart, Andre?
Yes, it does, of course.
It does. Okay.
His chart is, I mean, like if you were placing a bet on which is more likely to happen in the next 2-3 months, some important victory or getting indicted for sure, because he's got problematic planets, and they don't get better, they get worse. Because the other thing is with planets, you got to look at what the person is doing with them. This guy is he's just like a walking bag of corruption. Everything he does involves some crime. I mean, look, he can't go too long. Like he gets out of the presidency and he commits 2 major crimes, tries to overthrow the election, and then he takes all the espionage records home.
You can't keep him quiet. He just buries himself every time he opens his mouth.
But he's never had a repercussion.
Not yet.
Well, I mean, in a way, think about it though. The repercussion is the situation he's in. And you can say whatever you like, but I wouldn't want to be in a scene with, 7 different lawsuits and potential charges, and he's being sued for $300 million, in New York. I mean, this is complicated as hell, and he's put the DOJ in a position where not charging him is much worse than charging him. Yeah. So what do you do with that? It's and then you see the astrology correlating.
Yeah.
Then you think
that's true. It's like a verification. Sure.
Yeah.
I want to talk about 11/11 because that was the impetus for coming today, and I want to talk about how we can manifest our best, manifest for not only us, but also our state, our family, our earth, everything. And one of the things that I found, and Andre, I'd be happy to hear what you had to say about it, was that this sort of 11/11/22 energy is a 1. It signals new beginnings and sort of moving away from the detritus from what we have been in for a while. Can you speak to that at all?
So how do you get a 1? Are you adding the digits 11?
I'm adding 11, 11, 2, and 22. Okay, and that's a 10 is a 1, I believe.
10 is a 1. Yeah. Well, it's I don't know as much about the.
I know.
Like the numerology is what gets connected to the astrology, but it's, I mean, one thing that I could say is, and from the astrology, it comes on a very near an eclipse. Scorpio, because that's what was going on during the election, people were saying, "Oh, eclipse," and I just said, eclipse. Some people are happy, some people aren't. Like, it could be on either end, right? So,
Sure.
but yeah, there are moments of inspiration. Hopefully, again, not for everybody, but for whoever's tuning in, to manifest is like to create, to be in a place where you say, okay, here's where I am, and here's where I could move toward, whether it's
Right.
and internally or externally or both, right? And so
Right.
it's a matter of like planting the flag and centering your mind on where you want to go.
That's a beautiful way to say it.
That's kind of the meaning of when the energies are more peaky, is to take advantage of that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I got an email from Juno. She did a nice. Have you seen her? She did a very
yes, I
nice
put it on here for people to see at the beginning of the chat. Is a link to her video. Okay. It's really well done. Yeah, it's really well.
I'll put it on my channel too.
You
Ascension
should.
Portal.
Yes, definitely.
And my number is 11.
Is it wonderful?
My
no wonder.
Numerology is 11. Yeah.
Is 11. Wow, that's fabulous.
11.
Well, it's supposed to.
I had the weirdest dream last night. May I tell you real quick?
Of course.
I dreamt that the world was ending, and I knew it was going to end, and it was something that was beyond our control. Kind of like Don't Look Up. It wasn't an asteroid, but it felt nuclear. Oh, and somebody I cared about was there, and I was saying it's cool because pretty soon we'll all be together on the other side. And nobody was really panicking. I felt very calm. And then I got in my car for some reason, and I'm driving down a driveway to get out onto the main road. And I look up, and here comes a shuttle. And it was flying so low, I could see the woman driving the shuttle. And I thought, that is weird. And then I looked again, and I started getting this tingly, like this feeling like, uh-oh. And then I woke up. Like, it's here. Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty powerful.
Well, here's hoping that it's mostly symbolic.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, but the fact that you weren't fearing it, Linda, is a big deal. Because
I just knew it's time to go. We're cool.
Time to go.
He's cool. I wasn't crying or panicking. Right. I saw the way I'm going to die. I'm going to be.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'm going to be in the arms of Gerard Butler.
You're going to what? Say that again.
I'm going to be in the arms of Gerard Butler.
Who's Gerard Butler?
He's a great actor.
Yes. Oh, she thinks he's great. Yeah.
With my toes pointed.
Yep. Nice. Yep. There you go. With your toes pointed. Yes. There he is. There he is.
He's Scottish.
And mine is, I'm going to go see Freddie Mercury. So I'm also, that's the way it is. So, what the good thing is that the energy is supposed to help balance our polarized world. But if we stay in that polarized thinking, then we bring more of that to us. So we have to be very careful. And I mean, I'm not pie in the sky. Oh, everybody needs to be happy. But today would be a really good thing that if you wrote down what it is that you wanted to manifest, wrote down specifically that what it is you want, think about what you want, because it's a day to double your chances of manifesting what it is you want. So don't ever ask for anything you don't want, because that will bring you that thing. You don't want that.
Oh, I definitely want to gain another 50 pounds. I
don't think you should say that.
Who would wish for something they don't want?
Linda,
some people do. They say, oh, I don't want to ever do that again. Oh. Yeah, it's just the words.
Yeah. It's like don't think of a blue tree. That.
Right.
Well, there was a Catholic thing, believe it or not, from a nun that I read today, and I absolutely loved it. And what it said was Saint Rose Felipe Duchesse or something like that. Do not look back to the past nor forward to the future. Claim only the present, for it holds God's will.
Oh, that's perfect.
And sometimes when people think they need to focus on the future, I tell them, if you could stay here, in the present.
Yeah.
You don't have, when people say, Linda, where are you going to be from 10 years? Buried? I don't know what the hell's going to happen 10 years from now.
Too far away.
Maintain this happiness I feel in this realm right now.
Right.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And the manifesting thing, manifesting, it's what you're holding or what you're nurturing in your mind in the now that leads to that future. So the thing to train oneself in is leave
Right.
the negativity behind. Just that all that stuff already happened. Where are you now? And it's from there through continuous focus. Because that's the thing. I mean, if you write it down today, it's going to have some effect. But if then you forget about
Right.
it and you keep going and you more or less return to something you were doing or you're focusing on the past, then it has some value, but not as much as if
Not
you.
as much. Right. Yeah.
That which is likened to itself is drawn. So vibrationally, you can't create what you're not. If you're constantly thinking about
That's
who's
right.
back here or what you want over here, you're not a vibrational match to what they can give you.
Yeah.
They
That's right.
always answer your prayers. Sometimes
They do.
people are shocked. Oh my God, Linda, he left me. Were you even
Mhm.
happy? Well, now that
Mhm.
you say that, no. Well,
Mhm.
universe answered your prayers.
They
So
did.
Detective Kate is a good dream interpreter.
Isn't she great? I love my Kate. Yeah, and she says that your dream, transformation of the world as we know it, messages for your eyes only. So
Isn't
there
that
she
something?
is. Yeah.
But Dream Detective Kate, what was that dream of Trump being in a glass coffin?
Oh, does he
Remember,
think
it was
he's
a glass coffin. This was back when he first won as president. He was wearing
okay.
the red tie, the blue suit. I went up and I looked, nobody was around. There had lights. It's almost like Lenin looking.
Yeah.
And it
Yes.
was in a shopping mall. And a few people and I went up and said, oh my God, that's really him. And he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let us know what you think about that.
That could be foreshadowing, because that is like Lenin. He sits there in that coffin and he probably would like that to happen.
Right, but I also think my interpretation, we'll see what she says, because I'm not a dream interpreter. Are we all going to witness the fall of this man? Because it was
in our lifetime.
The odds of that are very good. Very good.
Yeah, definitely.
Unquestionably.
So Andre had a dream about tiptoeing through the tulips.
What?
Did you, Andre? With Tiny Tim?
No, Linda cannot resist being a comedian. I'm telling you. Those Leo planets, she's always figuring out.
With the one-liners.
Tulips, what tulips? That's my answer to that. No, I haven't had any tulip dreams recently that I know of, but I might have, that I miss. Sometimes I dream and I can't remember what I dreamt, and other times it's super clear. So
yeah.
And we have a lot of things broke my heart. A lot of things broke my heart, but fixed my vision.
Yes. The hardest things we go through do that. Yes.
It sure did for me.
I know.
It's true. That's totally true.
So, Andre, a lot of folks are, and including myself, are very wary of this Mars retrograde that is wreaking havoc on relationships or friendships or whatever. I wondered if you could tell us a little bit more about it and how to deal with those energies, because it's still January.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I could really say that just because Mars goes retrograde, it's going to do that.
Okay.
But it's more where it goes retrograde. And
in your chart. Okay.
Yeah, and in the world too, like, because for instance, where it is retrograde is a pretty dicey place for the US, because it's near where its natal position is, and that's a place where there's conflict. It's why we have this whole MAGA thing. It's that very alignment.
Right.
And so Mars parking there, and I'm actually quite surprised that there hasn't been worse, some violence or something. All I've heard are people like Carrie Lake, the usual suspects making noise, but it's been pretty good overall. I mean, can you imagine Dr. Oz actually congratulated his opponent? He did what
do you know? I know.
What a decent human being should do. I mean, I think the mark of a person isn't when you win. The mark of a person is when you lose. Can you shake hands and say, well done?
That's right. More integrity.
Yeah. Right. So, but like Mars, when it's retrograde, really the only thing is that is it intensifies the energy for a while, and it's good because Mars is an energy planet,
Right.
which can,
Right.
if it
And
goes off the
war,
rails,
isn't it? Doesn't it also? Yeah, war. Yeah.
Right. Like when it goes off the rails, it can get combative and violent. But the idea would be, if there are projects or things that you've put on the back burner and it's been waiting, to happen on the retrograde, it's kind of like Mercury retrograde when you start doing your filing that you
Yes.
about. So Mars, get to work on that, whatever is pertinent to you, during that
Okay.
period. And also depends where it is in your chart, because some charts, the 23, 24, 25 Gemini, where it is now, because it's been in this range, that can be a bit of a dicey place. So then you have to be aware of your astrology, to know, okay, that
Sure.
Mars is a little more complicated. But
so you need to look at your chart through where the Mars is located in the chart to tell.
where it is.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not a great, to me, it's not great astrology to blame,
Blame a
like,
planet.
No, I mean
No, okay. but we got to blame somebody.
But is that Mars helping with this Putin having to back out and Ukraine getting in there and taking back their cities?
That's been going on for a while, and Putin has bigger problems than Mars, because Putin's chart, like the Mars will be there, then it'll kind of move forward, because it's a 2-year cycle, it moves pretty quick.
Right.
Putin has the slower moving planets lining up very poorly, which is why you can see that it's all maladjusted. Putin peaked at the same time as Trump back in 2016. He really pulled off a great caper there, worked really well. If he had invaded Ukraine in 2016, he probably would own it now.
He would own it.
A guy like Trump
Probably.
would have helped him. But now it's all misaligned, and there's, it doesn't get better, it gets worse, because as we see the months and then the years pass, the planets get more complicated, and Mars is going to be the least of his problem, But it could be, now it is true though, what you say could be true, that the idea of a retreat or something happening like that, you can associate with retrograde, but the Ukrainians, it's good for them, right? Because for them, like they're conquering, they're actually moving in.
But I heard that after they retreat, they're going to bomb the crap out of it. So that's what I was concerned about. I don't know if that's true, but it's like, we're going to pull our people out so that all the Ukrainians will come in and then we'll blow it up. That's kind of what I thought I heard.
Putin's plight, it's really tough, because he has there was this article I saw where he's doing trade now with places like India, Turkey, even in Europe, some places. It kind of surprised me, because I saw Belgium is selling more to Russia than they used to. Weird things like that didn't make sense to me. But overall, he's spending a lot of money in a losing cause, and he's fighting a much bigger stash of money through the Western world that has they're much bigger economies. So, I mean, to me, this is not a good plan. And the thing is, he's doing this, he's a Libra, he's got all these planets in Libra, Jupiter's on the other side. And you see with Jupiter, when Jupiter is either opposite or square, people will do these expansions, because that's Jupiter, and it takes them a while to realize, oh, I expanded into the wrong place. I shouldn't have expanded there. I should have tried to do that. And he's, in a way, desperate to get some kind of win, but notice that it hasn't been working. Every time we hear news, oh, we got to give up another city. Oh, we got to give up another.
Right. Because he's taking people out of terminal illness places, and he's taking them out of prisons and all that stuff in order to put them. Nobody knows what they're doing. I feel so bad for those folks.
I do too.
Yeah. Really awful.
Isn't that though a bit of when people can get really down on the situation we're in, but look what's happened even in the last month. So Putin is completely stalled. Bolsonaro lost, and Bolsonaro and Putin and Trump, people like that, they're kind of in the same range. They see the world as, we should have a, alpha male running the show, a total liar, makes up things. Well, that's not working. Now, it was a close result, because Lula won by a smidgen, but I haven't heard yet about, Bolsonaro deploying the army or anything else. So things are
I haven't either. Yeah.
In a pretty good direction. So that to me is positive, because we could be back in 2016 when this thing was rising, like a
yeah. And when Trump was in office, Trump.
That's right. That's right. Oh, he'd be buddying right up with them. So, do either of you see any Merrick Garland stuff? Some movement in January?
Good question.
That's my guess. That's my sense of Garland is that one of the things, because he's a Scorpio, like Trump or
Like Joe.
like
Yeah.
Joe. So Scorpio, from the sun sign, it gets easier in the spring of next year. That's why
Right.
it's a little weird, this whole thing with the house, because I'm pretty sure if McCarthy gets the house, he's gonna call Garland in and harass him and ask a lot of questions, because they know they work. The Republican Party is all messaging. If we just throw a lot of mud and make noise, then that'll convince people of something. So, but it should get easier from where the Saturn is going, and yeah, that's my guess that
that there'll be a lot of indictments coming down even on some of those people that, like Jim. Well, of course, today they said that Kevin is not looking good. That the that People's Freedom Caucus are trying to push Jim Jordan into the position, and that a lot of folks have said that McCarthy, McConnell, and Romney McDonald, whatever her last name is, as a Mac, they all McSuck or whatever.
Right, because they've lost too much.
Yeah,
this was not a landslide. As
Right.
it is, we don't know if they're going to get the House. In fact, Pelosi told McCarthy, you got to wait till your exit. What are you doing? You can't announce to us this is the new format. You haven't even won yet.
I know. And plus, it doesn't start till January if you did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what is he doing already? He really thinks he's in, and you know what? Naughty boys sometimes don't get dessert.
Yeah, it's true. It's true because I had said those things about how it's good for Biden this month, but then when I remember election night, and you get all tense, and I wanted it to be like I kind of forgot. I put it out of my mind that they were telling you, "Hey, this thing is going to take a while to count." This happened in 2018. They were counting into December, right? So
right.
Yeah. So then I saw that and I thought, oh, okay, we did well, but then there's big uncertainty. Well, the thing is, the way this Jupiter thing is moving, that's what I put in my video yesterday. The way this Jupiter is moving, the more time passes, the better for Biden, and the worse for McCarthy, because where it's going to land, it's not good for McCarthy, right? So to me, at best, maybe he squeaks it in. But I mean, can you imagine if he wins by a couple of seats, it means that
it's a nothing.
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert are going to run the party. So
they will. No, really, they won't let them. I'm telling you, they'll get people who decide not to vote their way. They have to get an accumulation of yeses. They can't just take it upon themselves to do things. And one new guy that's in there now says, no, I'm not into impeaching Biden and all this stuff. We have work to do.
Right.
Yeah. No. And there was one astute analyst who said there are several people, meaning quite a few, that know they're up again in 2024, and they know that if they behave like that, they're going to get bounced, in the next election. So there are all sorts of points and counterpoints, but I'm still holding out. I think there's still a shot.
Me too. I might be wishful thinking, but it doesn't matter. My guys, even though they were wrong on the details, or they weren't wrong, my interpretation was wrong, because they're never wrong.
For entertainment purposes only. Okay.
The detail was, first of all, McCarthy's not going to be Speaker of the House. Maybe they meant he's not going to be because he doesn't get voted in. Maybe his people turn against him. But I definitely felt it was going to be. I even said the House was going to be a tight squeeze. I remember I said,
yeah, you did. You did.
Real close. And then I also said, because of this voting, what happened now, and we're so lucky, dear God, I swear to you, we took the Senate. The Senate is ours. But the reason this is going to really be kaboom is because they are going to turn against Trump. I saw that. I said they're going to start blaming him. And when they start doing that, that's when the explosions start. It's not going to be business as usual.
Yep.
So then you're predicting we're going to have a very entertaining period coming up.
Oh, yes. Get the popcorn. Get
out the popcorn.
There you go.
Yeah. So, can you imagine when they finally do the Netflix series on Trump? It's going to be one of those 10 years and 120 episodes to cover all the stuff. I mean, it's just endless. You can go on so many
It is. Did you
that
hear?
way-
I had no idea that before Melania, he dated a biracial woman, and he said, "You got your looks from your mother," because she was a black woman. But no, it was the other way. You got
Yeah,
your
it
looks
was
from your
because
mother,
if
but
it was white, you got something from the white side, is what it.
I guess it was the father that was black, and so he said, "But you didn't get brains from your father," or something like that. So racist,
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
And yet New York turned around and voted for the red when they're so anti-Semitic too. It's
Oh, I know. That's so awful too. So today I heard a federal judge, I believe in Texas, that was appointed by Trump, has knocked down Joe Biden's student loan, and they have stopped it. It's right now. It's in
going back
limbo.
on. It's
You
going
think
back.
so? Okay,
It's
that was
only
my
a
question.
temporary hold.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of that
Somebody
stuff
said, Susan Lynn Guide said Biden would be one of the greatest presidents in history.
I
What
think
have
so
I
too.
been saying since I knew Biden was going to be president? He
That's
will
right.
be known as one of the greatest in history. And I'm glad Susan agrees. And you know
Mhm.
who told me that? Roosevelt.
Ah,
that's cool.
Franklin D. Roosevelt said he'll be a lot like me, Linda. He's going to bring in something like the New Deal.
wow.
And I said this years ago.
Sure,
Yeah.
you did. I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
hearing that you said that. And you know, presidents never get any kind of kudos when they're in office. You know,
That's
usually they're just never appreciated. Like even JFK and what he did, he was, you know, that kind of
But
stuff.
Andre, he says that he's running again. Biden is running again.
It wouldn't surprise me because he's got a pretty good pathway going into
Good for him.
24. You know, and it'll
Yep.
depend because the era we're in, whether or not Trump implodes and they pick someone else, it's still
Mhm.
very MAGA infested. And so I think Biden, this is my guess, that the biggest reason he's really focused on being president, aside from, well, they always want to be president. I know that. I mean, these guys are into having the power. But Biden, to me, is really worried about the U.S. And I think if he thinks people will stay with him, it's helpful because, you know, you give people a place to focus on. Like, he probably was the only person that could beat Trump in 2020, the way
I
this
think you're
country
right. Yeah. Yep.
even though there are lots of good people there. I mean, I love Buttigieg. He's a really smart guy.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Kamala is, you know, super competent. I mean, there are now
Mhm.
multiple women that could run the country. But this country, I mean, did you see the numbers for this election? The only
Yeah.
reason we're talking here is because of women's vote. If only men vote, they would put in Republicans every time, right?
No.
Oh, definitely.
That's what
Yeah.
happens. You know,
The
they
good
don't
old
seem
boy
to care.
network is alive and well in many cases. But
Yeah.
yes, Lisa Foster says Manchin and Cinema are probably going to be still a thorn in our side. And yeah, I agree
We were
with that.
hoping we'd get more of a lead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would have
Well,
needed
actually, we will be. It won't be 50. It's going to be 51, 52.
No, the most can be is 51. The most is
Oh, it's
51.
51 plus the vice president, right?
Plus the vice president makes it 52.
No, the
Right.
vice president, no, the vice president only counts when it's 50-50. Otherwise, like if you have a 51-49,
okay.
you can't throw the
Okay.
vice president in. That would be great though, because
absolutely.
then you could say, okay, it's 51-49, and now we're gonna pass this thing and tell, you know, Cinema and Manchin, we don't need you because Kamala is gonna stamp it. It would be great, but they don't
Well,
let you do that.
they said a lot of people thought because Biden wasn't high on their list, but the reason they voted Democrat was because they were tired of the cray-cray.
Right.
Yeah.
We all are.
Cray-cray.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
rape children are going to carry that child, by God. They just had no clue. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to tell it on my show coming up. There's something else my guide said. Okay. They did say that after this, they're going to start throwing Trump under the bus. So that's happening.
Okay, well that's
They
cool.
also said, I got this really strong, that the Supreme Court is sweating. I could feel sweating underneath the collar. I think because they know part of the reason the Republicans didn't win by a landslide is because of that. But the Republicans were asking for it.
Well,
They were.
I got
They're
another.
paid by the Federalist Society to vote in accordance with what they wanted. But I think they know now they're coming into their just desserts.
Yeah, well, by the way, if you are in the Supreme Court, you know, like that 12th century jurist Alito, who thinks he's, you know, the second coming of legal mind here. And I mean, when you're seeing Kentucky, so one
I
part of the
know.
ballot, they're putting Republicans in there in Kentucky. They're not going to put a Democrat. But the other part of the ballot said, no, we don't want that
Go to the
ruling.
abortion thing. Yep.
No, which
Yep.
tells you, I mean, if Kentucky's saying that, then what do we need now? Do you want to check out Alabama? I bet you if Alabama voted
Kansas was
this,
voted red, but they said no on stopping abortions.
exactly.
That
It's
really
a loser.
changed it. Yep.
In a country like the US is a very both from the astrology and from, I don't know if you have ever heard those Freakonomics guys. They're always doing these statistical studies. And they said the US is one of the most individualistic, independent countries on the planet. Like where, say for instance, in China, it's the total opposite. There are people that follow. That's why they have a system like they have. But to try to do something like this, it's crazy because you're saying, well, half the population doesn't have any rights. Well, what do you mean? Are you crazy? We're not living in 1920. This is different. So I thought that was a horrible move. They could have kept it at bay. Now they'll probably end up with a worse result. Like when this thing is finally resolved, women will probably have more freedom.
One of the Republicans said, I want to go in there and I want to work across the table.
Yeah.
And that's Biden's dream. That
somebody in New York said it, I believe. Yeah. The person in New York, which surprised me a great deal. What about J.D. Vance? Steve says, hillbilly eulogy guy.
Is he a Trumpster?
He's a Trump. Yeah. Well, no, he's not a Trumpster exactly. He used Trump though to. He's one person that Trump could claim, hey, I christened, but it's because of Ohio. Ohio and Florida have become really red in the last elections, where Arizona and Georgia keep inching toward blue. So, but then that's the thing. You see, like the Republicans are playing whack-a-mole. They go, oh, okay, Ohio, Florida, red. Oh, now Arizona, Georgia. Next is going to be Texas if they, get another thing. So it's really hard because the population, people read books, they're looking around, they're getting informed. It's complicated as hell to tell them stories that aren't true. They figure it out. They go, no, that's not right.
That's why these people are begging for people to this wake thing. They want people to be sheep. They want you to not look up anything. Don't check out anything.
They want to change voting to 21.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
sure, I know.
Because we're too woke. Yeah, we're too woke. Valerie wonders when the House numbers from the change are removed from their participation, we're probably going to have more elections. That's the hope. But I don't know. There you go.
Yeah, that's it. The only thing is that when you charge like the political charges, I think this goes with how Linda's always felt that she sees Trump in a legal mess, but not in the slammer.
Never saw him in jail. No.
Right, because that is so problematic, just the optics, and you end up with many millions being upset. But so the idea that you're going to have like the sheriffs going into the house and rounding up Matt Gaetz and so forth. I mean, that's possible, but I wouldn't count on that necessarily. I think you should think about voting them out. Don't expect the marshals.
Yeah, but I do see Trump throwing a bunch of people under the bus.
Okay, well are you kidding me?
They're already throwing Weissman under the bus.
Weissman?
Okay. Oh, the guy in his company, Weisselberg.
Weisselberg. Oh, yeah. Well, of course.
So they're already saying he's the one that made all those decisions. They just threw him under the bus.
Well, they said today that if Trump announces Jared and Ivanka will have nothing to do also with this new election, or would it never work for him again?
It's a no-brainer. He's going to lose. Yeah. But actually, you guys, we should say yes, please run Trump, because we will Biden will take it again by a landslide.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like in a way, DeSantis, if he's courageous, the way he should start doing it away. It's really simple. You vote for me, we have a chance to win. You vote for that guy, we're going to lose. It's that simple. You don't believe me? Just look around. Yeah. What's happened? I mean, do you seriously think that you're going to go into 2 years from now after this, and then you're going to get more votes? No, you're not. You're going to get, if anything, less votes because of how tired people are. Because this is too much. You can have an opinion, you can have a strong opinions, but what this guy does is too much. It's just all-out corruption. Just go for
And he's always been that way.
Oh, totally. His whole life.
There's a woman I read that's right now, she's in Portugal. She's from Switzerland. And she lived in New York for a couple of years. And this was way back, 20, 30 years ago. She said, when I lived there, everybody laughed at him. They said he was corrupt. He was terrible, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they're fairly intelligent people. He
Well, the
knew what he
reason
was doing
why-
when he turned to be, because he used to be a Democrat.
Yeah.
So
The
he knew what
reason
he-
he won is because of Russia.
Yeah.
Russia.
Which, by the way, I mean, that's another thing in our system, how it's so tribal. Sometimes I wonder, is it people don't know or they just don't care? Because I followed enough that I remember when Lindsey Graham and his crew were in charge of the Senate up to 2020, they had that committee investigating the Russia thing, and they concluded in a document that they all signed, I mean, it was their thing, that Russia had helped Trump to defeat Hillary Clinton, that it was clear. But as soon as they put the paper out, I remember seeing the news, Marco Rubio and Graham and all the rest, they went on Twitter to say the opposite of that. They said, oh, it's been concluded that Trump had nothing to do with it. So they separate the truth
Oh, he threatened
from the
them.
message.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, you can't be any more corrupt than that. But if your followers don't care, because, I mean, look at the number of lies that Trump throws out and they keep following him. So
they keep following.
does,
And also, may I say, Trump's numbers are still better than DeSatan.
Well,
but they're worse than Joe, which makes me so happy.
Yeah, that's
because he's polling less than. I watched a documentary about Trump and his golf course over in Scotland, I believe, and how he intimidated a woman who had land that he wanted, but she wouldn't sell it to him. And he cut her water off and he did all kinds of stuff. And there's a video of him in a car with her saying, I don't care anything about you. You're just nothing to me. But no, so it's global that he does this. It isn't just here. And people haven't, she still doesn't have water in her house because he cut her water supply, at least, with regard to that show when it was on. But it's like, he just thinks he's, JC incarnate.
Well, I'll tell you something worse. He's got a place in Ireland, right?
I think so.
Because I was on tour in Ireland and we drove by it, and the tour guide said, yes, this is Trump's place in Ireland. Like, I barely looked up. But anyway, she said Eric Trump was in there and said, drinks for everyone on me.
Oh.
And then he left without paying for it.
Of course he did.
You don't tell an Irishman that you're paying for his
No way. Yep.
So they hate him because of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's very Trumpy. That's apparently what they
very Trumpy.
They hire and then they don't pay, and
with everybody, people that work for him and everything. Well, we're getting close to an hour here, but I
ring my doorbell. I gotta see if it's Gerard.
You go right ahead, Linda. That's fine. Do we have something going on with a Saturn-Sun conjunction at all, Andre, right now that's creating a Saturn?
Saturn's Sun. Hold on. Saturn is in. No, that can't be right. No, there's at most there's a. Okay, so Saturn is in Aquarius, and the Sun is in Scorpio. So those signs are at odds. Odds. You get some tension on account of that, but not enough to
not enough to create any kinds of issues.
Well, to make a big dialogue, because it'll pass. The Sun will shift signs by the 21st of November, and
that's true.
So it's not really the big.
We got
thing,
10 more days of Scorpio, and then we go into Sagittarius. Right?
Yeah, and the big alignments that really change things are things like now the Saturn is moving forward in Aquarius, and even though it's at 18 degrees, which is kind of in the middle of a sign, by March of next year, it enters Pisces and never comes back to Aquarius. It'll be in Pisces for 3 solid years. That does correlate with changing panoramas because it's Saturn in a different sign, which then affects everything in a different way. So that definitely you can take to.
Sure. Wow.
Yeah. And then
that's some good news.
And there's Jupiter too. That the Jupiter. One of the things that it's doing, which again is why I'm holding out, because I'm thinking, this could be good. So Jupiter is really in Aries. I mean, it kind of went back into Pisces for 2 months, which coincidentally is really good for Biden. But actually, when it was in Aries, it was already really good because you noticed in the summer, that's when things started to really pick up for Biden. So he's fine there too. He's got good energy there. It's just that now it's especially good. But then it goes in January, February, March, April. It's in Aries, which is very good for Pelosi because she's an Aries. You always want Jupiter in your sign when you're trying to get up.
Okay. When you're trying to get a leadership position or
really
anything.
Helpful.
Yeah.
It's not perfect in that
right.
sometimes you'll see there's too much. Like Bolsonaro he's an Aries too, but he had too many problems in the chart. So then it just didn't work out. There were too many other pressures. But generally, Jupiter's in your sign. That's choice,
That
right?
looks good.
I'm hoping, okay, well, it's bad for McCarthy, better for Nancy. Maybe we can.
And I'm wondering if she's going to pass the torch over to Adam Schiff or somebody like that, because, especially what just happened to Paul. That's a lot. It's a lot.
She could, but people are always trying to, they'll say to me, well, why do you, maybe it's not even about Nancy. It is about Nancy until the decision is made. Of course,
that's right. It is. Right.
This would be her win or her loss. I mean, after that, whatever. But right now, of course it's Nancy, right?
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, she's seriously thinking about stepping down. It's not even her being in charge. She's tired.
She looks at, and that was devastating for her, what happened to Paul.
Devastating. It was just so awful. And it makes you feel like, I'm sure she's thinking about moving out of her house because it makes you feel violated.
Really?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Although with people like this, in a certain way, it's almost better not to do that because it's like when you agree to blackmail or you agree to a terrorist demand. Right. And if you say, well, you know what, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get an AR-15 and I'm going to have it in my living room. And why don't you come in my house again and I'll show you what I'll do. I mean, that would be, which by the way, Aries, her sign, Aries people are really combative. That's one of the reasons she's such a good speaker is she's constantly in the fight and nothing she backs down from. So that's the more likely response from an Aries, rather than saying,
my brother is like that. And I'm his polar opposite. And so he used to really upset me, but I just know that's his personality. Yeah.
But the repubes were saying, somebody needs to pay that man's bail, that patriot's bail.
Yeah, sure.
And then because it's so god awful, and Paul Pelosi did not know that man. And it was no ugly tryst.
No, of course.
And then after all the truth started coming out and they found out he was a Canadian, he's actually Canadian.
He is.
Well, an illegal alien. So now it's the Democrats' fault.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Of course it is. It's always the Democrats' fault.
I mean, everybody in this country is an illegal alien, that got.
That's very true.
Come on.
Not me.
Nobody's here.
Not me.
You're illegal. You're a legal alien.
I came in from Andromeda, Oh, wow. Totally well, I'm going to let you both go. It's been almost an hour, and I can't thank you enough for being here today.
Your earrings are really cute.
Oh, thank you. I got the sun and the moon.
I love it.
The stars and the moon. I mean, the stars and the moon.
Very, very astrological. Good for you.
Very astrological.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody. I'm going to stay a little longer because I want to talk about how to manifest and do some of that. But I want you guys to go and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so very much.
Both of you. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Very good. All right, everybody. Wow, what a great show. Honestly, I wish we could have answered all your questions. Linda and Andre, of course, very, very busy people. Just lucky to get them here today and so happy to be able to spend time with them. Your questions were all wonderful. We would have not been able to answer a lot of them. And even though my intention was to be very, very positive, I think all of us are still in that limbo space and we're all needing somebody to give us some guidance about what was coming on. So, again, just remember, I'm going to just spend just a short period of time going over this. It is a great day to manifest. It is like the best day of the year, and it's double than what you would normally do. But just as much as Andre said, it's great if you can do it, but then keep doing it. That's going to be important because you can't just do it one day and not keep your focus on what it is that you want, because you're going to have other things go astray. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. So yes, we got new beginnings coming, and the 11 is a doorway. It's a doorway. And I find it so fascinating because the buildings of 9/11 were a doorway to some other kind of world that we ended up with. And that was in a negative sense. But we can make this 11/11/22 a much bigger doorway for us. This can bring us, they're all master numbers. They can bring us blessings and faith and alignments. They can snap us out of the 3D world and help elevate us into the 5D world. We can polarize ourselves. We have justice, fairness, equity, and we can rise above our competition, which is very important. And that's exactly what Linda said. She said, some of these Republicans are now saying, I want to work with both sides. We don't have to be competitors. We can work together. And that's the unification of that plan. So what I am recommending you do, if you want to really see if you can manifest whatever it is sit down very quietly, maybe sage yourself or put on some candles, whatever it is that you'd like, and think about what it is you really want. We tend to think about what we don't want, and we don't want to do that because that's not fortuitous for us. So what do we want for ourselves? Do we want more peace? Do we want more harmony? Do we want to feel as though we are protected in the world? And, whatever it is, do we want a Mercedes Benz? I mean, why not? To go for the gold. But remember, if you want a Mercedes Benz and you get a Porsche, the universe thought you needed that instead. What do you want in your relationships? Do you want to get along better with people? Do you want your love life to be better? Do you want to start thinking about why things didn't work in a certain way, and then plan on writing what your best partner's qualities would be? All these things are there for you. In your career, the same thing. You can think about what it is you want to do in your own career, how you want to elevate yourself, what you're willing to work for, what it is you want to do. Do what you love and the money will follow. We also want to think about what we want for our country. And obviously, from what I've seen here in the chat, we want some changes because we've done this and we are seeing it happen in the now. And we want that to keep rolling out and being better. What do we want for our planet? Well, we want to have clean air. We want to make sure people don't, destroy it with nuclear weapons and so forth. So then you need to model what you seek it should be by manifesting it. Where your attention goes, it flows. That's where the energy will flow. So you want to make sure that you put that attention on the things you want. There is also a powerful way for manifesting that I just want to speak of just for a few more minutes. I realize after an hour, everybody gets tired, so I don't want to make anybody have to stay, but you can come back to this later if you wish. Try the 369 method for manifesting. So doing this method is a great beginner-friendly way to manifest. It just involves writing down your affirmations and your goals, and it's one of many manifesting journaling techniques. Get very clear on what you want and write it down. Sometimes I write them down and then I type them up and put them on my mirror. So that every time I go in the bathroom, there they are and I'm reminded of them. Come up with a corresponding affirmation. For instance, if you want to manifest more money, say, I will receive a large sum of money. I will receive the job that I have applied for. I will find the perfect partner for me. Write down your affirmations 3 times in the morning as soon as you wake up. Then in the afternoon, write those affirmations down 6 times, same affirmations. And just before you go to bed, do it again, but do it 9 times. 9 times. I'm doing this wrong. Okay. Repeat for as long as you want or until you see results. It's called the 369 method. And it's a lot like what Susan Lynn has told us in the past, where we take a card every day and we put that into a journal. Journaling is one of the best techniques because you're taking your hand and you're writing it out. That really matters. It really matters. It's different than typing it. Once you hold a pen in your hand, It engages your brain and brings you down into your hand, and you get that coming from source through your hand. When you're typing it, it's fine. Some people don't like to handwrite, but it's not the same. You don't have the same sort of energy with that. In the tarot, the 1 means magician, as you well know from the tarot series. You have the magic, everybody. You've got what it takes. You have the tools sitting in front of you right on the table. All you need to do is reach out and pick up which ones you want, and you're able to transform what it is that you have or what you desire. Let's see. Then the number 11 also grants us access to the 5th dimension. This is where time and space don't exist. This is a great space to be, because we've been talking about now or in the future, and now is always the best time to sit in your energy. On 11/11, we experience 5D energy in the form of synchronicity, alignment, and acceleration. It's like you get to step through a door and move on, and this is the way you do it. Will you see those results immediately? Maybe not. But I wouldn't say to be discouraged. You have to keep working it. And I know that so many of you here in the chat, every time I come on and I have a show with somebody or the mediums come on, you all are working on what it is you're doing. And it's just it's heart lifting. It really is. You amaze me every single day, every single day. You might experience sometimes in this 11/11/5 dimension that you happen to be at the right place at the right time. Oh, I love that when that happens. Actually happened to me. And it was, I went into a chat room back in 2000, and it was the right place and the right time. I met my husband. He was the only one there. And we've been together ever since. Was that fortuitous? Yes, but I have to say it was synchronicity for me and for him. It is a reassurance for you that the realm beyond that you are working from, that you're on the right path, and everything that you are seeking is also seeking you. Believe it. Pay attention and tap into the 5th dimension. It is the time, and it's readily available to you. Are your angels and spirit guides sending you some signs? Maybe spirit animals. I see my deer all the time when I'm sort of in that flow. It might come to you through art, music. You might turn the TV on and it's just the right thing that you're going to see, even if it's an advertisement. If a random song gets stuck in your head, think about the message. Don't just think about, oh yeah, that's a cool song, I remember. What's the message in the words in the song? Very important. So based on the Hermetic principles, the law of attraction teaches us that everything we manifest is created by our own thoughts. Why do you think that the people that are so negative manifest those negative things? Every second, you're thinking things into existence. Pay attention if your mind wanders. On 11/11, we want to make sure that we're focused on bright and positive outcomes and not fear or worry. So move away from that right now. We got through it. We made it. Let's not fear it anymore. Work with the energy to channel your thoughts in service of the highest path. And maybe wait and meditate tonight at 11/11 if you can. I mean, I would have said to do it this morning at 11/11, but it's okay. It's 11/11 somewhere, right? Finally, my feeling is that what we want, sometimes we don't get. And sometimes that's very powerful because it protects us, because that thing that we wanted was not good for us or for someone else that we are aligned with. That's very difficult, though, because we want to believe that we can do this. And yet at the same time, we don't want to make something worse for ourselves. So at the very end of any meditation or any manifestation, say the words, this or something else now manifests itself in divine time in truly acceptable ways for the highest good of all concerned. Because we are not alone. We're not an island. And maybe it wouldn't be good for your path, right, Lisa? Yeah. This or something better now manifests itself in truly acceptable ways for the highest good of all concerned. And so it is. So, let me see if I got any. Oh, you guys are great. You have so many wonderful comments here. I love this one. Holy cow, look around at who's on earth with you. Look at who you manifested showing up to be your sidekick. Oh my God, yes. Look at all the people here that are your friends. Sometimes friends on YouTube and Facebook and all those other places can absolutely be better for you than some of the people that are in your real life world. So yes, you've manifested this. You have brought this. But yes, with great success comes responsibility. Absolutely. I know that my husband and I tried to open an office 5 times. And 4 times it did not work out. And it was like, well, why is this not working? We're pushing to make it work. We couldn't make it work. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right place. It wasn't the right thing. I almost gave up totally. But when it started to flow this last time, it started to flow. And there were bumps. There were rocks in the river. And yet today celebrates 1 year for my husband's business, and he's doing okay. He's got the doors open. He's got employees. He's got patients coming in. So, you just have to sit back sometimes and wait and see what the universe brings you. Yeah, absolutely. Lisa, you're planning for healing, your self-worth, and oh, that's wonderful. We all need to do that. We all need to plan to heal ourselves. Yes. Let's create the highest wishes and the sweetest dreams. Thank you, Kate. Let's see, Andrea Callis, voting in America is crazy. Yep. I wish we'd followed other people. I really do. I really wish that our plans here was a lot better than it is. Juno, if you get a chance, those of you who missed it at the beginning, go to the Juno Sphere. She also talks more about the 1111 on her channel. She's done a beautiful job with a PowerPoint and all kinds of information for you if you have more questions about it. She does a lot of topics on her channel, and she's just a fabulous gal. So abundance may come in ways we don't expect. Look for the small things. Once you recognize them, Spirit will bring you more abundance, not necessarily money, more love, more appreciation, more understanding, more peace. Those things are very abundant. They really are. They're very, very abundant. I'm glad that you understand the 369. Good. I think that it's very important for people to know and how to do that. And thank you, everybody. Lise, last night you dreamed about an owl on your shoulder and it flew away. This morning I went to the new doctor and he had photos of owls on the wall. I love that. How synchronistic is that? That's beautiful. Dream Detective Kate and I will be on the 15th, and we're going to be doing another show. And so bring your dreams. We love you to look at your dreams. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Connie. Thank you, everybody. I would have to sit here for hours and just thank everybody so much for being here. A lot of my regular supporters who I love and admire so much. And all of you new people who have subscribed and also came to see Andre and Linda G, who's just a hoot anytime she comes on. So Andre is so well-versed, and he's sort of bounces off Linda G. So it was fabulous to have them and fabulous to be here. Thank you all. I love you from the bottom of my heart. I thank you for being here. I wish you good manifestation, and take the time today to think about it. Do a little ceremony if you feel comfortable with that. If you don't, then simply write down what it is that you would like to manifest and start the process, because every 11/11, you have that opportunity again and again. Thank you. Oh, every day, but 11/11 is pretty powerful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you guys soon. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.